All right, we are now going to look at some data for the toxic waste cleanup lab. And I'm going to have to walk over one lab bench and get our piece of 0.052 gram aluminum foil because I need to show you part two at the beginning here. All right, so I'm going to start the remediation process. I've got this test tube of the 50,000 part per million copper chloride solution. And here is our aluminum that is 0.052 grams. I'm just simply going to slide this in here. And the reaction is starting right away. It's just a simple replacement reaction. And we'll have a look at this a little bit later. But as you can see, perhaps, if I get close enough and we get a focus on the test tube. Come on, let's get a focus on the test tube. I am being thwarted in my efforts to get a focus. There we go. I'm not sure that you can see this, but there are bubbles that are forming on the surface of the aluminum. And actually, you know what? That side is coated. But this side I see some brown, especially on the margins. And then I see bubbles forming. And the reaction is a very hot reaction. It's a vigorous reaction. And because we're in a solution, though, it's going to take a little bit more time. So we'll check back on this one a little bit later. And basically, again, it's a single replacement reaction where the copper is replacing the aluminum and the aluminum is replacing the copper. So now I'm just going to show you how the process works using the colorimeter. I know Mr. Sandin was using it for the lichen lab, and I'm going to go into just a little bit more detail so that you can see how the equipment is working. So here are my cuvettes. They came from these test tubes that I showed you in the pre-lab video. So these are the cuvettes that have the various dilutions of the copper chloride solution. And over here is the 50,000 parts per million. And down here is the least concentrated. And I'm hoping you have the calculations done for this by now. And really, the only thing that I have done so far is I've used some distilled water and I have calibrated the colorimeter. And when I put it in there, you can see that the absorbance that we're reading right here on the LabQuest is showing us that it's 0, which it should be. The other thing I want to point out is that on the colorimeter, there are 4 settings that one could use, and they're indicated right here. It's different colors of light. And because we've got a blue solution here, we want to use a color of light that is absorbed by the blue solution. So we're using red. So it's on the 635 nanometer wavelength. So let's take our first sample and get some data on the first sample. And before I do that, I do need to write these down. I've got to go back to a different lab bench and grab my pencil. Okay, here's our first one. And you have to hold these cuvettes by one side. There's some ridges on one side. I think you can perhaps see them. And on the other side, it's a totally flat surface. And so the flat surface is where you want the light to run through. And you can see our first reading right there. We're going to wait for it to stabilize. I'm not going to lift the LabQuest, but you can see the numbers right there. Looks like it's about 5.94, 0.595. Let's go with 0.59. Boy, come on, make up your mind. Ooh, down to 3. I don't like that. And it goes up to 5. So let's make it 0.594. And then I can just take this out and I'll set it over here. I'll show you the second one and then I will pause the video. That was slick. Yeah, and they all tipped over, and that's okay. Hey, our second one, if you're looking at the data on the LabQuest, we've got the numbers right here. Hey, look at that. Well, I was going to say, look at that, it's stable. 0.226, 0.227, 228, so we'll go with 22. Let's go with 0.227. And I will pause and come back and give you more data. Okay, guess what? The data that I gave you, the 0.594 and the 0.227, they were invalid because my calibration, my distilled water, there were smudges because I was not handling it correctly. There were smudges along the outside, and I had to recalibrate it, and I will give you the numbers in a data table that you'll be able to use to make the graph. And so I'll just give you the link to that. But I do want to show you the progress of the aluminum and the copper chloride. I'm going to put this white sheet of paper behind so you can kind of see what's going on. I'm going to do the extreme close-up. You can see at the bottom there is some copper metal that has been produced, and up at the top there's this really stubborn piece of aluminum that is still reacting. And you can see that the color of the solution, there's still some blue in it, but there is also some additional turbidity in it from some of the really small copper atoms. And we will, have to sneeze, and it went away. So what I will do is I'm going to let this settle. I'll let the reaction finish and give you the number of the absorbance. And I know that you all have done the math. You've done your stoichiometry. You did all those other calculations. So you could determine what the concentration in parts per million should be, and then what the subsequent absorbance should be. And I will give you the experimental number in a bit. So actually, it will be posted. Mr. Sandine and I will give that information to you later. So there you go. I think that summarizes everything with the Toxic Waste Lab and how we clean things up and some remediation efforts. And I will see you all later.